Chris Wenzler, who had a storied SID career at his alma mater, John Carroll, was a beloved figure in both his profession and his community. He is being honored tonight, posthumously. Just 4 months after his graduation in 1990 from John Carroll, Wenzler was named the athletic department's sports information director. He stayed at his alma mater throughout his illustrious and impactful career. In 2008, Wenzler was given additional responsibilities as John Carroll's first assistant athletics director for communications. Wenzler passed away June 23, 2020, following a 2.5-year battle with multiple myeloma. He was elected to the JCU Athletic Hall of Fame in 2019. A Bob Kenworthy Community Service Award recipient, Wenzler was known for his extensive international and local community service. He was involved with on-campus service days and numerous community charitable events. Wenzler joined the Immersion trips as a staff member at John Carroll, including visits to Jamaica, Ecuador, and Guatemala. On campus, he spearheaded Streaks to the Max in partnership with Max Cure Foundation. We are deeply proud to welcome Chris to the CoSIDA Hall of Fame. And speaking on his behalf is his wife, Melissa Wenzler.
Chris's favorite part of being a sports information director, SID, was really promoting the student athletes. He really took to heart at a Division III level, these students are playing their sport for the love of the game. There's no, they're not going on to the NFL or any professional level most of the time. So this collegiate experience was going to be the highlight, and he really always just wanted to make sure that he promoted them and their achievements and their accomplishments to the highest level possible. Also, part of his favorite part of the job was mentoring students. He loved connecting with students. He loved being able to help them figure out their passion, figure out their way in life. And a lot of times he employed students that weren't even interested in sports as a career. He had students working in his office that were accounting majors, finance majors, but they were students that liked to be around sports. And then also too, promoting John Carroll. Both Chris and I are alumni of John Carroll, and we love the university. We love what it provided us as an education and an experience. So he thought it was an honor and a privilege to be able to promote John Carroll athletics at the very highest level possible. And also too, he felt like it was a role that he could help with recruiting, and he could help with the first impressions of John Carroll. So for instance, the jcusports.com website, he took a lot of pride in that, because that might have been the first thing that a prospective student athlete saw when they were looking at John Carroll. So he took great pride to make sure that everything that came out of that office was high quality, top notch, and caught prospective student athletes' attention. So part of being a student and a faculty member, staff member at John Carroll, we are a Jesuit Catholic university, and part of the Jesuit philosophy is being men and women for and with others. So the service aspect is a huge part of the John Carroll experience. And many, many times campus ministry had come to him to ask if he would be a faculty leader on an immersion trip. His job obviously is, August through May, 7 days a week. We had small children at the time, but he did decide at some point, after relentless requests by Chris Kerr, he did relent, and he finally went on his first immersion trip to Jamaica. He subsequently did 9 of these immersion trips throughout his career here at John Carroll, going to places like Jamaica, Ecuador, and Guatemala. As a faculty leader, he was charged with, overseeing and chaperoning 14 to 16 students on these trips. Oftentimes, these students were going to places where they've never seen abject poverty before. And so part of his role was not only to reflect deeply himself, but to help these students understand what they were seeing, and understanding that they may not be able to solve all of the world's problems by doing this trip, but just understanding, seeing things outside of their own worldview, and also understanding that there's something bigger out there than just themselves. So it was one of those things where every time he went, the first trip, even to the ninth trip, each time was transformational for him. He learned something new about himself. He learned something new about his love of his family and his job and his faith. So he was grateful that he took that leap of faith that one time, and it just ended up being an integral part of his life, part of his service to John Carroll. Yeah, the Sports Information Director family, particularly in the OAC, is a really tight-knit group. They would oftentimes, they have their yearly meetings and they would do golf outings afterwards. So they enjoyed each other outside of the work. I think at the time, Chris was the longest tenured Sports Information Director in the conference. So I know that they looked up to him not only for his expertise, but, as a friend. So when he did pass away, they were amazingly supportive. They made a trip up to come and visit myself and our children. Throughout Chris's illness, they would constantly be posting words of encouragement. Adam Prescott at Otterbein, actually back in 2018, he and his assistant, who worked for Chris when he was an undergrad, shaved their heads in solidarity after Chris had his stem cell transplant and lost his hair. So, and then there's, Lenny. Lenny is instrumental in CoSIDA, and he's been instrumental in, making sure that Chris gets the recognition that he has been receiving so far. So, they're amazing. They've been wonderfully supportive. They're like a second family for us. And you just become a tight-knit group. You work those long, grueling hours, oftentimes away from family. So it's just nice to know that they're kind of, like I said, a second family for us. Chris's thoughts about being inducted into the CoSIDA Hall of Fame, I think secretly he would have loved it. He was never the type of person that did what he did to be the center of attention. He never, wanted the accolades. He just did his job because he loved it. He loved John Carroll, and he loved promoting the student athletes. He would be extremely humbled by this amazing honor. He just, I know if Chris were here, there's a lot of people that he would like to thank. The former and late Tony DiCarlo, who took a chance on Chris 30-some years ago and hired him right before the sports season started. I know Chris is forever grateful for Tony and the chance that he took. Lori Massa, who was the athletic director after Tony. So many people, Jane Evans, all of the John Carroll coaches, all of the John Carroll student athletes, all of the students who have come through Chris's office. They were his passion, they were his why. Our family, our friends, and Blue Streak Nation, we're grateful for you. I know Chris would be, love to be here. We miss him every day, but we're very humbled and honored by this celebration.
From John Carroll University, Chris Wenzler.